Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Andy Baldassarre is the Director of Marketing and Training at BG Products. Great friend of the industry and the Roundtable. BG Products has been a big part of the Fixed Ops Roundtable since our inception. Andy, thank you and welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Ted, great to see you. Thanks for having me again.
Andy, BG is everywhere. You're doing so much right now in the industry. It's hard to keep up. I thought we'd spend a little time today catching up and finding out what's new with BG. And so to do that, I figured we go right to the top to you, Andy. So tell us what's going on.
A little bit of everything. We are very busy. As you know, we've launched a couple of OEM programs, one with General Motors, one with Ford. So we are investing a lot in making sure that those programs succeed, and they're going very well. But we also have over 50% of dealers who choose us that aren't GM and Ford dealers. So we're also investing heavily in the support and the training materials to make sure everybody has what they need to succeed. Training is a big part of that, though. So we're doing a lot of BG University classes with our 800 field representatives to make sure they are trained and can actually do a good job servicing the accounts that trust BG. So a lot of focus on our people. As we all know, people make the difference, right? You can have the best plan and strategy, but if you don't have the right people, it's not going to work out.
And Andy, people are a big part of that BG equation. You bring that to the table, and you're right. People business. You're focused on that very wisely. And tell us a little bit more. So, what are you thinking? What's on your mind in the world of fixed operations today? So many things happening right now to get the dealer's attention, and want to kind of hear it from you.
Yeah, what's on my mind is everybody in the industry is busy, right? Every dealership you go to, everybody seems a little stressed out. Everybody seems overwhelmed, and what happens is customer experience breaks down, right? The process breaks down, and really, I'm speaking from my own experience going to dealerships to get my vehicle serviced, and sometimes you see a good process. But unfortunately, more times than not, I see a process breakdown. Probably not intentional, but it could just be a lack of process. Most dealerships will tell you they have a customer reception experience that they want their customers to have. A lot of them cannot hand you a piece of paper as a standard operating procedure that this is our process. And if you don't have that written down, is it really a process that your team can follow? And then I also find that even if you have one, there's not a lot of accountability because everybody's busy. The advisors are busy, the techs are busy, and all the managers seem to be pretty busy as well. And so what's on my mind really is that customer experience. How do we make sure that customer, let's face it, 90% of them are coming in for an oil change. So I hope that these processes are written to address the prime item that most customers are coming in for, right? So what I find is, hey, I'm here for an oil change. Here's the keys. They say, thank you very much. Are you waiting? Here's the waiting room. Or if you're not waiting, we'll call you when it's ready. And it just blows my mind that there's really no experience wrapped around that. So if most customers are coming in for an oil change, showing them not just an oil change, but what about an oil service, saying, here's our options. Of course, I work for BG, so we believe in the chemistry we provide dealers. But the basic oil change really should have an MOA additive with that oil change. It's good for the engine, it prolongs the life, but also it comes with up to $4,000 of protection for that customer for very little money. That is a huge value to that customer. It's a huge value they'll go tell their other family members about when they get their oil change there. So, our basic oil change has BG MOA and it comes with this protection. And then everybody in the industry knows we're seeing heavy oil consumption with today's GDI engines. They're burning more oil. It's affecting the engine, the life of the engine, the operating efficiency of the engine. That really affects fuel mileage and performance as well. So our performance oil package comes with BG EPR and it cleans those piston rings, smooths the idle, and helps your vehicle run better. Why aren't we presenting a simple oil package menu? Let the customer decide what they want, and the level they want to maintain. Um, and then once they pick a package, you know, most OEMs are also recommending a fuel injector cleaner now with
Hmm.
a tank product like
Hmm.
BG44K. You know, AC
Yes.
Delco has a version, Ford Motorcraft has a version. BG44K is the premier product for that. When the OEM's recommending these things, you should tell your customers, right? And you should tell them up front, in my opinion, at the oil change. So there's little opportunities like that that, you know, I believe people like to be educated. They don't want to be ignorant about anything. And most people don't know a lot about car maintenance. So if we just do a little education, I think that would go a long way.
Andy, the chemistry at BG is second to none. I've spent time there with you at Wichita, seen a lot of it firsthand. Going back to the reception process, I would even take it back even a step further. When the cars delivered, the new car delivery, I recently had a vehicle delivered. My daughter bought a new car. And again, I'm in the business, as are you. I was with her for the delivery, but the dealership did not take any time to show her where to go for your first appointment. Where do you pull up with your vehicle? Who do you speak to? When does that happen? And I thought that was a lost opportunity. And we see so little of that. We're supposed to do that with that sales to service handoff, but really just getting the customer indoctrinated early into
Yeah.
that repeat and referral business, which is a big part of what we do.
Yeah, that's a great point, Ted, because, you know, if they're familiar with where they need to go, then they feel more confident to pull up to that drive, right? And if they feel comfortable there, you start to build some trust, right? They educated you and showed the customer where they're supposed to go. But if you don't have trust and familiarity and comfort, how open are they going to be to any recommendations that that advisor has for them?
I want to talk to you a little bit about the training side of the business, Andy. You're the director of marketing and training. I know you have a huge passion for that training part of the business. And we have a couple people coming up this week on the roundtable, Mike Bauer and Spiro, who do a tremendous job for our industry. I think they're both, especially Spiro's a young up and coming name in the industry. So congratulations on what you're doing there. What kind of new and innovative things, technologies are you working on these days?
Yeah, so the thing I'm most excited about right now is we've been developing an augmented reality app called the BG Experience. It's been available on a tablet for a while, but in the last year we've released a headset version with the MetaQuest 3, and it is just amazing as a training tool. Ted, as a trainer, you know the biggest difficulty and hurdle of training is just getting people's attention, right? Just try to get them to forget about everything else that's going on in their world and focus on a subject for just 15 minutes, 30 minutes. So the BG Experience, we've just released a new interactive mode, and it's fantastic. It will actually create an experience that your technicians and advisors will actually enjoy doing training.
Andy, hey, that's a big statement. Tell me more about this.
Yeah, it is a big statement to say people enjoy your training. So, and we've experienced it, testing out this augmented reality application. So, what I mean by that is it's very immersive, right? You've got a headset on, and there's not a lot of motion. Some people get concerned, am I going to get dizzy in an AR or VR virtual reality experience? And it will do both, but it does not make anybody dizzy. So that's the good news. And it has such an immersive experience to where actually you see this 3D model, it's educating you on the value of doing these services, but then the interactive mode lets you actually pull out engine components or cooling system components or brake system components and learn about each of those items and why it's important to maintain, your oil changes and add MOA because of the timing chain. You don't want it to stretch, you don't want it to wear out, or how does the turbo affect oil and degrading that oil quicker? How does the any of these components actually help? What's the function of that component? And it's so funny is usually training people are ready to eat the pizza and get out of there and get back to work. With this new training experience that our BG representatives can to bring to to all these dealerships, we actually have to tell them, hey, it's time for it's somebody else's turn, or it's time to get back to work. So it's very immersive, it's very interesting, it's very engaging, And I think dealers who haven't experienced it yet, ask your BG representative to bring it out. We're just kind of getting it rolled out to all the distributors, so you may not have seen it yet. But it's also free to the public. You can buy a MetaQuest 3 headset, and dealerships can start training with it right away. So either way is a great option.
And Andy, the BG Experience, that's an app that's available, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Yeah, it's a mobile app free on iOS and Android, phone or tablet, and then now the MetaQuest 3 is it's the old Oculus. Meta bought Oculus, and so this is their latest and greatest headset, and the visuals are amazing. The interactive engagement is quite something else. So it's definitely something to experience.
I know this is award winning. I've seen that a little while back. Um, Andy, BG is the only one that I'm aware of that's doing anything like this in terms of augmented reality to really help in the training and coaching of advisors and staff throughout the dealership, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's an industry segment first. Nobody in our segment and most people in the industry, unless you're an OE, are not playing at this level of interactivity and technology. And it has won, a Motor Top 20 award a couple years back. Brandon Hall has evaluated it as well. We won a gold for that. It's an amazing experience. I can't stress enough how engaged your people will be of learning something and getting that foundational knowledge of, why are we offering these services? What are the benefits to it? How does it actually improve the customer situation? What's the system? How a lot of advisors today don't even know how these systems work, and I've had a lot of dealers tell me they're hiring advisors from
Right.
they were serving coffee yesterday and they're advising service today. They were cutting hair yesterday, they're advising service today. So a lot of the training tools like BG Certified and BG Experience, and then our local reps coming out, it's all about helping them get that foundational knowledge so they can actually do a good job with the dealership's customer, right? You need knowledgeable people to have the right experience to build trust with that customer.
And like you just said, the advisor needs confidence and understanding in order to be able to explain it to the guests. So you're so right. We're taking people now from the hospitality and other industries and bringing them into automotive to provide them this kind of education. Andy, will the distributors be able to provide this at the dealership level for advisors, the augmented reality as part of their training once
Absolutely.
it's rolled out?
Absolutely. It's we have several that have piloted it already. There's a lot of headsets already out there, and reps are bringing them to shops. And it's kind of one of those whoa moments, right? It's very different than being bored with the PowerPoint slide, or a lot of our training. We do a ton of training in the store, so some of the veterans in the store, they've seen a couple versions of the same training, but they've never seen anything like this. So it gets people who maybe are a little more veteran re-engaged in the process of seeing what's new.
It's very immersive, and at a time when other companies are going the other way and having less headcount, less people in the field. Andy, it seems you're ramping up. It seems you're adding and putting even more people on top of all the boots on the ground that you've got today in dealerships to help service advisors and service teams do better.
Yeah, we're about 800 reps, fluctuates on a regular basis in North America, and we are ramping up more because there's so much need in store to make sure that we're there every week, working with advisors, working with technicians, working on just process and flow, and it's a never-ending process. And Ted, that as an industry expert and trainer, training is never done. Training isn't something you've done. Training is something that you do, and you do continually to stay on the top of your game.
Andy, also speak to us a little bit about your partner Beyond Products because there's so much that BG brings to the table for its retailers. In addition to the chemistry, you've got a lot of tools. I'll begin on the menu, and we've seen them here on the roundtable as you roll them out. The menus, the tools to help to be able to give customers selections and choices, and then to be able to help dealers become more profitable with things you're doing on the hyper intelligence side. Speak to us for a moment about that, if you would, because not everybody is aware of that.
Sure. So, it's great to have the best product in the world. The chemistry is second to none. But I always joke with our reps when they come to BG University and tell them, how many of you know that the best product does not always win, right? It's who is providing the most value to that customer. So in the dealer world, we are providing not only the best product, we have the best equipment that's made in the USA. It's engineered by our engineers here at BG. We are not getting equipment from a third party like a lot of our competitors. So we make sure everything works together properly. We also have the Advisor app, as you said, the BG Tech app, and a BG dashboard, which gives them lots of training. It gives them a lot of, hey, you're doing a transmission service, here's the adapter you need. Here's the correct fluid for that vehicle. So a lot of tools that help efficiency. But to your point, a huge thing we do is that smart VMA menu system. What's so unique about it, it's very difficult to offer VIN-specific menu recommendations. Well, it takes a lot of people to do it, but we've cracked that code. And when you can offer customers VIN-specific recommendations that show them the manufacturer's requirements or really recommendations of the services they should be doing, but also offer severe conditions or dealer recommended services based on the environment those vehicles are in. It's a very powerful tool. We often see a 30% lift in maintenance services when that tool is put into a store, regardless of the OEM. And we're actually, we just hit over 15% of dealers are using that tool now. So it
Wow.
has significant penetration in the market because dealers are seeing the value and the results. Customers are getting these great services. A lot of them come with the lifetime protection. So all of these things between training, sales resources like Smart VMA, retention programs like lifetime protection, it's the full package of your partner beyond the product that's great to make sure that you're succeeding and that your customer's succeeding as well.
And Andy, finally, congratulations on the General Motors and Ford programs that you have been rolling out nationwide over the past year or more. That has certainly, provided a big win for the industry and big win for the retailers and the opportunities within the OEM. If you want to speak to that, I think that's an industry first, as far as I know.
Well, it's been a great partnership. It's really great because they've validated not only the chemistry with their
Yes.
engineers, and so that speaks volumes and what our lab team does to make sure we have the best product in the market. But also that just they've recognized that today's engine technology in vehicles they need more maintenance than vehicles of 10 and 20 years ago, and not every dealership has caught up to that mindset, and definitely not every consumer has caught up to that mindset. And so we have a big job to do with education, and the more that the OEs are recommending those services really brings a lot of validity, credibility to the customer to say, hey, we're recommending this fuel system treatment for this engine. It's what GM recommends for your car. It's what Ford recommends for your vehicle. And so it's been huge to have that validation. And we're just excited to continue the partnership, grow the partnership, make sure everybody's taken care of.
Andy, we're in a great space, fixed operations and BG products. I believe it's 54, 55 years now.
Yeah.
Um, um, what a great history and again a great mantra, and congratulations to you, the team, and the distributors on all the success you're having.
Thank you, Ted. Appreciate all you do.
Andy, if our audience wants to learn more about BG, if they're by chance not a BG retailer, want to find out what could happen on the local level, what's the best way for them to reach out and get more information?
Yeah, the best way is just to go to our website, bgprod.com, and there's a distributor locator on there, and just put in your county code, and we'll get the right distributor to reach out to you and walk you through the program and everything that's involved. But there's a lot of great information on there. If you're interested in the training, there's a page for that. If you're interested in Smart VMA and what that can do for you, there's a page on the site for that. If you're more interested in our equipment, the site is full of great resources to educate yourself before you reach out to one of our distributors. But when you are ready, the distributor locator on the site is the best option.
All right, there we have it. Andy Baldassarre, everybody. He's the director of marketing and training at BG Products. Here with us today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.